everyone! This week we'll be having an in-depth look at 4 very commonly used Java classes: string, string builder, array, and array list. You need to know these classes in detail so that you can answer specific questions about their functionality and all their methods. Let's start by having a look at the string class. The string class represents a string of characters and is used for storing any text-based data you might need to store. Although strings are one of Java's most commonly used objects, it is important to remember that strings are objects, not primitives. Strings are so commonly used that they may be declared literally, with quotes, which might give the impression that they are primitives. So always keep in mind they are objects. Because strings are objects, they are able to have their own methods and fields. Strings have many methods which make it easy to work with them. The char_add method allows you to retrieve the character at a certain index. The substring method allows you to get a string from a start index to an end index. The contain method allows you to search a string to see if it contains another string. There are other convenient methods that we will look at in more detail. You need to be aware of all these methods and how they work, as there will be questions that involve string manipulation and the combination of many of these methods. Strings have a built-in optimization to limit the number of string in memory. Every time you declare a string literal with quotes, the Java virtual machine will check in a special area of memory called the string pool. If the pool already contains the new string, then your new string instance will actually be the instance already in the pool. If not, the string is added to the pool. This process is known as string interning. It does not occur for strings created in other ways, including any strings created with the new operator. Strings are immutable objects. That means once you create a string, it can never be changed. If you wish to add a string or remove a character, you can't. You have to create a new string. Immutable objects are great because you don't have to worry about concurrent modifications of the object. Concatenation of strings in Java can be inefficient. Imagine you were to add one character to a string in a loop 100 times. By the end of your loop, you would have had the desired string, but you would have also created and discarded 100 other strings along the way. This is where the string builder class comes in. The string builder is a class that is specifically made to, you guessed it, build strings. It does this in a mutable fashion. And when you are done, you can simply ask for the final built string. String builder has many of the same methods as string, so it can be used as a drop-in replacement for a string once you have decided that you will need to modify your string often. Arrays are another very commonly used Java object. Arrays are used to store series of data, with each piece of data having its own index. Like strings, arrays are so commonly used that they are the only other Java object that can be declared literally. And the indexes of the arrays are not referenced via a method, but with their own special syntax using the square brackets. With all of those special cases for arrays, it might make you think you are working with something other than an object. So always keep in mind that arrays are objects with their own methods. Arrays are declared with a fixed size and cannot be resized afterwards. If you declare an array to hold 4 things and you would like it to hold 5, you'll have to copy all the information from your 4-element array into a new 5-element array. This constraint can be frustrating, but it also allows arrays to be very performant. Arrays have a contain method that works just like a string contain method. It also has a property length, which is not a method, but a property. This allows you to know the length of an array. As mentioned previously, you can access an element of the array using the square brackets with the number representing the index inside. If you attempt to access an array element with an index that is too high, you will get an array index out of bound exception error message, letting you know that the index you requested is beyond the length of the array. An array list is a class that gives us a resizable array. It does this by wrapping an array inside, starting it off with a default length of 10. If you exceed this length, the ArrayList class will create a new internal array and copy all the values across. From an external point, you usually don't have to worry about the internal, making array lists much more convenient to use than plain arrays. We'll explore all of these classes in more detail during this week. Please post your questions and comments to the Noroff forum.